drone, tryna get that late view. I'm plugging to the natural. Remind myself of love and life. Could have been just shadows, but it's shallow water on my back. Listening forward to my fantasies. Won't take this world for granted. And self find all the answers. Confused so I don't follow. Need for my
What's up, FOA squad? I'm Anthony and welcome to our channel, Life with Anthony. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Happy whatever day I get to post this video for you guys. You know how some people fill these up with stickers of places they've been, like national parks, Grand Canyon, and all the other historical places that they visit during their travels? Well, I came up with a slightly different idea. I want to fill this up with stickers from the FOA community. I would like for you guys to send me stickers of what city or state that you live in, and I can put it up here. And everywhere that I travel, the FOA community will be represented on the top of my van with the stickers that you guys send me. I think it's a very cool idea, and I hope that a lot of you guys send me stickers of what city and state you are in, or one or the other, so I can put up in here and take you guys along with me with my travels in a different way. All right, now let's get into today's video. All right, guys, as you saw in the introduction of this video, the categories that I'm going to be rating these campgrounds on, and you also saw the 6 campgrounds that I'm going to be doing the ratings on. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to take each of the 6 categories, which, let me remind you, lay of the land, the cost, amenities, the social scene, the site size, as well as the Wi-Fi. I'm going to take each of those categories and I'm going to tell you guys which of the 6 campgrounds I like best in that category and the campground that I like least in that category. I'm going to kick this off with the cost, because when I first started going to campgrounds, I was getting a lot of questions on how much it costs to stay at these campgrounds, and people were comparing it to, you know, having rent or so forth. So it's a good place to start. So when it comes to costs, Sawmill in Dade City, Florida, I've been there at least 5 times. They are the most expensive ones. They run about $36 per night. The tent sites are slightly cheaper. Weekends is slightly expensive, more expensive. Event weekends are more expensive as well. But the base price for where I stay on a van site is about $35 or $36 per night. Now, the least expensive one is Oz in Unadilla, Georgia. Ours run about $18, $19 per night. Now, that is during the off season. All of these costs, I think, change during the summer months where the camping is like in full swing, probably July and August or whatever. Mind you, I've been going to these campgrounds during the winter months, leaving north and going down south. So I'm guessing that the price will vary during the actual summer months. But Oz in Unadilla, Georgia is without a doubt the least expensive one. Now let's move to the site size. For the site size, I would say the campground that I had the most space in was at Oz in Unadilla, Georgia. And that is because of that particular site. All of their sites are not as spacious as the one that I was in, but this particular one, which I stayed in both times that I was there, well, close to one. I stayed in one that was like right here. That one was spacious, and the next time I went there, I stayed in the one that was next to it. But they do have sites around that isn't as spacious as those two. I was able to put up my canopy, had my van on my site, as well as my tent. I didn't have my orange tent at the time. I had the green tent, and then I also had the gazelle, the brown gazelle tent. So I had enough space on that site to put up 3 structures, so to speak. Now, the site that had the least amount of space, I would say, would be the River's Edge in Dewey Rose, Georgia. That site was very narrowed. I had to work my way backing up into that site, and I had space just for my van to back up in that space, as well as I had my orange tent up at that time at that campground. So yes, the River's Edge and Dewey Rose, Georgia had the least amount of space. Ideally, I would like enough space so that I can put up all 3 structures on this site, which is my van, my canopy, which now I have a much smaller canopy, so that should help out space-wise, and my tent. So we'll see. But yeah, most space, Oz and Unadilla, and least space would be the River's Edge in Dewey Rose, Georgia. Now, I could have thrown in or made an argument for Camp Mars as the least amount of space, because I've been there twice, and each time I stayed in the same site, on the same site. But, however, they let me take up, if I wanted to, 2 sites. So if it was busy and I was only able to have one of those sites, I think that would become my my campground with the least amount of space, and I definitely would not be able to put 3 structures on that site. But because I'm basing it on the visits, the actual visits, I was able to use both sites. So I have to take it for what it is. Okay, so that takes care of the cost and the site size. Now let's talk about Wi-Fi. Now, you guys have heard me mention several times, especially when I first started going to campgrounds, that the Wi-Fi sucks at these campgrounds. And that is the case at most of these campgrounds. Because camping, you're out in the woods, you're not going to get the best reception. But there are a couple of the campgrounds that have different areas that you can go to and get slightly better Wi-Fi. And I would say that all of the tent sites that I have been on, the Wi-Fi was horrible. All of them. Not horrible, but it was just so slow. And you know how it just keep on going in and out? That's what I've been experiencing on the actual site, the tent site. But there are a couple of the campgrounds that have a different area that you can go to. And one of my favorite ones was in Oz in Unadilla, Georgia. On the site, the Wi-Fi was terrible. But they had a nice room, a TV room. It was air conditioned. It had a fan in there, a ceiling fan in there. It had a nice desk. It was kind of like a workspace. And the Wi-Fi, you can see the Wi-Fi little thing set up there. And the Wi-Fi came in a whole lot better, and I was able to go ahead and produce and edit my videos in that area a lot quicker. Also, outside of that area, that particular room, the pool area, you can get the same type of reception as if you were in that room. So I really enjoy being able to have a place to go and get better reception. And without a doubt, Oz in Unadilla, Georgia would be my favorite in that category. Now, my least favorite would be probably all the other ones. Probably all the other ones. Here at Hillside, I generally will record a course on the site, and then I would go to a McDonald's, which is about a 5 to 10 minute ride, and sit on their parking lot and get way better reception and get the videos uploaded much quicker. Sawmill, I do edit on the site and all of that kind of stuff, but it takes a long time. It takes hours for the video to be completed. So what I usually do when I'm at Sawmill is I'll go ahead and record one day, and I'll take the next day to go ahead and let it do its thing and take how long it needs to take to finish uploading the video. So that's my method when I'm at Sawmill, and basically all the rest of the places. Let me see, River's Edge. The River's Edge, they too have another place where you can go to and get slightly better reception, which is that great game room that I showed you guys in the tour of that campground. However, it still took me about 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours for the video to be completed. So thankfully, they had a really great game room, and I kept myself occupied with playing pool, throwing darts, watching TV, and all that kind of stuff while the processing was going on with my video. So, once again, the best place campground so far for me has been Oz in Unadilla, where they had that nice little room I can go into, and the Wi-Fi came in so much better, and my videos uploaded a lot quicker. Okay, my least favorite is probably all the rest of them, because the Wi-Fi was terrible, and some of those places didn't have a secondary place where you can go to and the Wi-Fi will come out better. I will mention that here at Hillside, you can go up to the pool area, and the reception is much better there, and you get better Wi-Fi. But I have not yet done that. I'd rather go to McDonald's because, of course, I'd like to get some chicken nuggets while I'm sitting there waiting, yada, yada, yada. All right, so that takes care of the Wi-Fi. Let's go into the lay of the land. Now, this is an interesting category for me because when I look at the lay of the land, I kind of look at it in a sense of, you know how you go to a city or state and they give you a walkability type of rating, like it's 90% walkability. Well, that's what I think of when I think of the lay of the land category here, is how easy is it to walk around the campground and everything. And I find that I'm going to start with my least. My least favorite is where I am now, Hillside. Hillside has just that, hills. And I mean big hills too. I mean, I have been here so many times and those hills still look big to me. You know how you do it the first couple times and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. No, it's always bad for me every time. And one of the bad thing is, thankfully I have a bathroom and a shower that's just like right there. But the pool area, the bonfire, and all of the weekend activities are usually held, most of them up top, and I have to go up there. And I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, Anthony, it's good exercise. And I would like to see a lot of you see that hill and think it's good exercise walking up and down that hill. You're probably going to feel, a lot of you are probably going to feel the same way that I feel. But that's my least. But it is good exercise if you decide to take it on or whatnot. But on a normal basis, for me personally, that's too much. That's too much. I would prefer some more flat land that I can, just walk around and mosey around and this, that, and the other. Now, the best lay of the land, I would say it's really a toss-up between Sawmill and, well, Camp Mars was pretty easy. Grizzly Pines was pretty easy to get around because that was a small campground and it basically went in a circle and that was it. Oh, you know what? Here is, I want to take back the least favorite Wi-Fi place. It actually was Grizzly Pine in Navasota, Texas. I actually could not upload any videos there until I left the campground, because that was during, I remember specifically now, that was during the time where I was decided to have a Houston meetup and I wanted to post like just a minute and a half announcement video, and it was like going so slow just to even upload that minute and a half. I got it done because I needed to get it done, but then I made another video with me cooking at my site and Michael cooking at his site, and I wasn't able to get that video out until I left that campground. So I take it back. Grizzly Pines in Navasota, Texas is the worst Wi-Fi. I couldn't get nothing from them. So yeah. All right, I was at the lay of the land. Okay, so my favorite lay of the land, I'm gonna say, is a tie between Sawmill, River's Edge. Camp Mars was easy too. All the other ones was really easy because it wasn't like massive hills and everything like Hillside is. So I'm just gonna clump all the rest of them up together and say that I don't have a problem with any of the other campgrounds lay of the land. Okay, so that's gonna take care of the lay of the land. Now let's talk about the social scene. Now, when I think about social scene, even though when I come to campgrounds, I'm mainly to myself. I like the peace and quiet. I like the relaxation of being on a campground. And I like the balance and option that I have of when I want to socialize and be a part of something at the campground. There are people there that I can do that with. So basically, this category is about are there people and how is the people or the crowd there at the campground when I'm there. So for me, I have found that I have met more people at Sawmill and here at Hillside. They are the two campgrounds that I have been to the most, so naturally I probably would have met more people at these two campgrounds. So I like these two campgrounds for that reason. Now, I go to campgrounds and I'm there during the week. I'm not a weekend campground person. I am throughout the week and the weekend. So naturally during the week, there are far less people at campgrounds with the exception of the perm people. And a lot of them may not even be there at that time. So for the least social scene, I'm going to go with Camp Mars. It's a tie between Camp Mars and Grizzly Pines in Navasota, Texas. I have been to Camp Mars twice and never have I seen a lot of people floating around. I did go to a potluck there one time, and that's when I saw the most people, and I was like, where these people come from? And Grizzly Pines, there weren't a lot of people there as well. Again, I'm basing it on the crowd and are there people there. Even though I do like being by myself, again, I like the option of being in a crowd or socializing with people. So those two are probably my least favorite. Camp Mars, never had a lot of people there when I was there, both times that I was there. Grizzly Pines, when Michael and I were there, it was not hardly anyone there as well. I think we stayed there 2 days during the week, so that could have been the reason why. Now, the campground that I like the most, and there's always been a decent amount of people there, even during the week, I'm going to say it's a tie between Sawmill and here at Hillside. There's always someone here at Hillside. Again, Hillside is one of the places that I have met the most people from, and a few of them are perm people here, so that makes it better. And Sawmill, I met a lot of, not a lot, but a few perm people there my last few stays there. So it's always someone there. Sawmill, I'm actually going to say that Sawmill is like a slightly step above Hillside, because Sawmill has, well, no, that's a different category. I'll keep them where they are. So because of those reasons that I know people at each of these campgrounds, I'm going to say the social scene for Sawmill and Hillside are quite even for me. Because a lot of people, not a lot, I keep saying a lot, a few people that come from Florida come up here to Hillside during the summer months down in Florida. So I've seen a few of those people as well. And I also have the phone numbers of a couple others that I met down in Sawmill, and we keep in contact with each other, and I like to go in and text them and see where they are in their journey. So yeah, for the social scene, I do enjoy Sawmill social scene as well as Hillside. Camp Mars would be one of my least favorite, alongside Grizzly Pine in Navasota, Texas. All right, so the social scene is out, and the last one, which has the most categories in, is amenities. Now, I'm excited to talk about the amenities because it's crazy how I've been to 6 of these campgrounds, all male campgrounds, and all of them in the way of amenities have something to offer a little different, and some of them don't. So in the amenities, I listed some subcategories that are in this category: a pool, a bar, game room, a restaurant, a play area, laundromat, a dance hall / rec hall, a workout space, and the internet. All right, because the internet is an amenity, even though the Wi-Fi was a separate category. So we won't talk about the internet because I've already talked about that. Okay. Now, I'm going to just go through the campgrounds right quick and say, okay, let's start with where I am now, Hillside. Hillside has a pool. They do not have a bar. They don't sell alcohol here. You have to bring your own alcohol. And for a lot of people, that might be a big deal. For me, I was a little shocked at first when I first started coming here that a campsite doesn't have a bar, at least open on the weekends, but they don't have a bar. They do not have a game room. They have a restaurant, a place where you can buy food. They do have a play area. In my opinion, it's not the best play area, but they do have something. And they do have a trail or two that you can go out and venture to as well. They do have a laundromat. Their machines are not the best, but they do have a washer, 2 washers and 2 dryers. Okay, they do have a dance hall / rec hall. They do have not a workout room, but they have one of those multi-purpose type machines. Is one big machine which you can do multiple exercises on. They do have that there. So the only thing that Hillside does not have is a bar that sells alcohol. They don't have a game room. And that's it. They have the other, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They don't have 2 of the 8. Now let's go to Sawmill. Okay, Sawmill, they have, Sawmill, they have a pool. They have a bar. They have several bars. They have one at the pool, and they have one in the rec hall slash dance hall. Okay, they do have a restaurant, and it serves pretty good food. I've had several things from that restaurant and have been pleased with it, except the pizza. The pizza wasn't that good. Okay, I love the options of the play area. They have a trail, lots of trails that you can venture out to and have some fun. They also have a structured building that you can go into as well, called the garage, that you can go there and have some fun as well. They have a laundromat, and it's a good laundromat. They have 4 dryers and 4 washers, and they do a very good job. The dryer is for $2 for an hour. I mean, it does a really good job. They have a dance hall with a bar inside the dance hall as well, which is really nice. They play really good music. It's where they have their bingo and their drag shows and all of those types of things in there. So it's a really good setup. And just outside of the dance hall, they have another huge stage where they can have some outdoor shows, like a pageant show or something like that. And a workout space, they do not have a workout space that I know of. They do not. So that's the only thing that Sawmill does not have, is a workout space. Now let's go to Camp Mars. Camp Mars does have a pool. Now, I don't know if they had a bar or not, because like I said, Michael and I were there during the week, and if they had one, it may not have been open during the week, just on weekends. I did not see any game room. I was told that there was a restaurant there again, or a place that you can buy food. But again, because we were there just 2 days and it was during the week, I did not see it open, so I cannot vouch for that. They did have a play area. I don't know if they had a laundromat or not. 2 days, didn't have to do laundry, wasn't a thought. A dance hall, I did not see a dance hall or rec hall, but doesn't mean that it was not there. But that campsite, oh, you know what? I'm talking about, I wrote Camp Mars down, but I'm thinking in my head Grizzly Pond. So let's go back. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, right quick, Camp Mars. Camp Mars has a pool. And it's a nice pool. And I love the entrance into the pool, because it's a big grassy area, and they got like 1 or 2 cabanas that if you don't want to go into the actual pool area, you can sit underneath one of those cabanas and relax. Camp Mars does not have a bar that I know of. I did not see a bar. I don't even think they sell alcohol. They did not have a game room. They did not have a restaurant. They did have a play area, Camp Mars. They had a little trail, and they also had a structured area that you can play. I was told they had a laundromat there from someone that I spoke to at another campground, but the 2 times that I was there, I did not have to do laundry, so I don't know if they have a laundromat or not. If they did, it was invisible, because I walked around that whole campground many times during my 2 visits there. They did have a dance hall there at Camp Mars, and they did not, to my knowledge, I did not see any workout areas. All right, now let's go to Grizzly Ponds in Navasota, Texas. They did have a pool. They did, like I started when I was thinking about Camp Mars. They supposedly had a bar, but again, Michael and I were there during the week, and I did not see one. They didn't have a game room, to my knowledge. I was told again that they had a restaurant, but because it was during the week, I guess it was not open. They did have a play area. I don't know if they had a laundry or not, because we were there 2 days and we didn't have to do laundry. I did not see a dance hall / rec room, nor did I see a workspace. So that's Grizzly Pond. Let's go to River's Edge in Dewey Rose, Georgia. Now, River's Edge, they had a pool. I was told again, here I go again, that they had a bar. I actually saw where the bar area could have been, but it was closed. Um, Y'all know the game room. I love, love, love that game room. It had a pool table, darts, a television room, a electric hockey game, all kinds of games and board games and everything. I absolutely love that game room. I did not see a restaurant there, but doesn't mean they didn't have one. I was there during the week, and who knows. I didn't see a play area there. I was told by one of my other camping buddies that they did have some trails, but I didn't see them. They had a laundromat. Remember, I showed you guys that laundromat. It was so tiny, and the lighting was horrible. I did not see a dance hall there. I do want to back up and say that their pool was immaculate. The whole landscaping of this campground is just amazing. It is well kept, and it is by far, for me, overall landscaping is the best campground. River's Edge and Dewey Rose, Georgia. They did have a workout, one of the multi-workout machines again inside of the game room. And in addition to that, they also had a hot tub building, which was so nice, so well kept. So that takes care of River's Edge. Now let's go to Oz and Unadilla, Georgia. Let's go to Oz. Oz does have a pool. They do have a bar. They did not have a game room, but inside of the dance hall was a pool table. Okay, they do have a restaurant, a poolside restaurant. They did have a structured play area. They also had a laundromat. It was small as well, but their machines did a better job than the one at River's Edge. They do have a dance hall, a pretty nice dance hall at that, and they have a bar inside of the dance hall. So they have two bars, a poolside one and inside the dance hall one. And I did not see a workout space there. And that's Oz. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that takes care of the list of 6. All right, so overall, with all that being said, all those different 5, 6 categories that I rated these campgrounds on, the campground that I find myself really, really enjoying the most, along with, the amenities and the social scene and the site location, the size of the site and everything, I will say that my favorite campground is Sawmill in Dade City, Florida. Even though they are the priciest one, I just find myself very, very relaxed there. I find myself being able to socialize with the right number of people when I want to. Their weekend events have been pretty good, draw in a really good crowd. They have a pool table room where I can go and shoot some pool throughout the week. Again, they have that nice poolside restaurant. The food is pretty good there, which I have enjoyed on days that I am not in the mood to cook. It's nice to know that you have somewhere to go at the campground and get some decent food at decent prices. They also have that nice dance hall, where they have their shows and everything. And the music just has been really good there. And I like to dance, even if I am the only one on the dance floor. I still like to, dance every now and then. The one critique I will give Sawmill is from their bar. I don't think their bartenders are really good. I'm not a drinker. I'm not an expert at how drinks should actually taste, but I know what tastes good to me and doesn't taste good. I usually have to have a conversation with the bartender because I don't like a lot of alcohol in my drink. So I got to tell them, hey, give me this drink, but So the bartenders didn't. It was one that was a little better than all the others. I think it was 4 bartenders there that they rotate. Um, Again, they have 2 play areas, the trails. Then they have the structured one, the garage, which was only open once a week, but now it's open twice a week, which is good. I just like the overall setup of Sawmill. It's easy to walk around if you just want to take a walk for exercise or whatever. They also have that nice pond there. I've met a few of the permanent people there, as well as some other camping people that I have run into when I've gone there. And I seem to enjoy myself there a lot when I go there. You know, I will give it one more critique. My campsite electrical is not strong enough to charge my Jackery 2000. I do have to take, when I'm at Sawmill, I do have to take that to the laundromat and charge it there. Other than that, Sawmill is pretty good. There's always been a decent amount of people there, even during the week. With the perm people there, is a lot of snowbirds that come down there and stay for 2 or 3 months, and I've met a few of them. So I always felt like if I wanted to talk to someone or have a conversation with someone, there was someone there for me to do that with. So Sawmill gets my #1 thumbs up. Second place, I'm going to go ahead and say that it is Hillside, only because I'm meeting people here. Every time I come here, I meet somebody different. I met about 4 or 5 people already during this stay. So it's a good place to, you know, socialize, and then the people that work here is becoming familiar with me being here and everything. So now, I will say River's Edge in Dewey Rose, Florida is the best looking campground. Again, that campground is amazing. It looks like a resort. The way they keep that landscaping and everything is so neat, and I just did not like the tent site size. But that's going to be it for today's video. I hope that was helpful to anyone who was curious about what these campgrounds are like. I found myself liking being on campgrounds more and more because it just makes my life living this lifestyle a lot easier. I just cannot imagine myself being out there going from city to city, finding parking spots and this and that every night, you know, so-called following those rules of van life. You know, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. I just don't see myself ever wanting to be in that position. So I always will see myself until I find a permanent home base. I will always see myself spending as much time as different campgrounds, as well as taking trips in between. I still have about 2 or 3 weeks that I have to fill in during the summer months. So I'm trying to figure out, do I want to venture out to some other campgrounds? Because again, there are 3 other campgrounds that I have not yet gone to. One in Kentucky, Indiana, and I'm going to one in Ohio. So I'm trying to figure out, should I fill some of those weeks in with the 2 that I have not gone to, or do I want to go somewhere, like fly somewhere? I do love Vegas. I have given some thought to going to Vegas, but I don't know yet. But anyway, I don't want to ramble at the end of this video. I want to thank you guys for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys, you know that, and I will see you guys the next time.